All right, in the hotel in Atlanta, getting ready to get on a plane to go to New Mexico. I got Matt here with me. Matt's going to be running camera this week and hanging out. Matt, hold on a second. Give me the camera.
No.
Give me the camera.
No.
Okay. Matt.
It's supposed to be behind.
Come here. Let me make sure my focus is right.
All right.
So, yes, Matt is...
I'm dressed for behind the camera.
He's here for it. He is 100% here for it. And I'm encouraged. I've got my bedroom slippers on, headed to the plane. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a really good time. Basically, the roads are so treacherous, they have to drive up and drop everything off and then come back and get us. It's pretty rowdy. About an hour and a half to get up the mountain. But they said when they were unloading the trailer tonight at the cabin, they heard 4 different bulls just from the cabin. So we're all...
Sweet. You know what they're selling these for now? 200. If they're 150 to 200,000. I mean, that one right there's obviously a 20, 30,000. I mean, but beautiful. Probably a 70.
Getting ready. About the Broadhead Test. Guys outside the cabin just getting it ready. Sam and Joey. Money.
Great shot.
You got any pizza videos?
A little out of breath at this elevation. We're at 10,000 feet at elevation, and we're used to 350 or so back home above sea level. So yeah, the air's a little bit more thin here, but man, it's an hour. We're an hour and a half off the paved road back up here on Mount Taylor, and there's sign everywhere. Elks were bugling last night. Some of the guys brought up some gear, and elks were already bugling. So we're looking forward. It's going to be an awesome week. So just to see even God, those little handfuls of grace sometimes they throws out that we don't even deserve, but that he loves to give. That's what this trip is for me, more than just chasing an elk, which is incredible, and I really hope I get one. This trip for me is a reminder. It's one of those little reminders that God's like, hey man, I see what you're doing. I'm for you, and I haven't forgotten you. So this trip, it means a lot to me. Yeah, golly, man. Yeah, so I wouldn't expect you to get emotional. That's weird, but yeah, it does mean a lot to me. It's more than just an elk, but it's a reminder that the Lord sees ministry and sees what we're doing. He hadn't forgotten us, so I'm just glad to be here. You know what I mean? Like right now, I would be going that way.
What's happening?
So we were sitting at elk camp, and I wrote a song, and because I wrote a song, elks started bugling. That's exactly what happened. That's awesome. That's amazing.
Like, what's the...
Yeah, we'll walk, we'll listen, we'll and just be real quiet and smell. I mean, a lot of times you guys smell them when they're rutting pretty good. We're just gonna walk around, act like a herd of cows, do a little light calling, real subtle, real quiet, and see if we get any response. If not, we'll just keep working the wind. Wind's the big thing.
We all slept beautifully last night. Woke up a couple times. Elk are bugling outside. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day.
Don't disappoint me, son.
God. They say it's kind of like when the water hits 67 degrees on the coast, the trout start to bite. When the aspens are roared in the morning, the wind's blowing 14.5 miles an hour, and elk's gonna die. That's what I was told by my father. Let me introduce you to him. Joey, come here.
What's going on, Matt? Hey.
This is Camp Dad.
Yeah.
Camp Dad. We couldn't even sleep last night for the bugles right outside the door, so excited to be here. Time to get a big New Mexico bull.
Pine donkeys.
Pine donkeys. Y'all can hear them pretty good? So I love, obviously, bow hunting is a passion, crazy passion of mine. I've been doing it for 15 years. Cam is 6 years old, and Cam, I guess about 4 months ago, started shooting a bow with me in the yard, and I still have the video on my phone of him hitting the target for the first time, and he just kind of freaks out, obviously losing my mind. But I do look forward to one day being able to bring him and this be a part of our story. Right now it's kind of, Dad leaves for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks a year on these crazy adventures, but one day I can totally see one day not even wanting to grab a bow just to be with him and a part of it as it becomes a part of his story. No, I was just saying, can you imagine like a setting like this and a bugling elk just coming over the hill? I'm pretty pumped. I was 45 yards away from a 300 plus inch bull getting shot. We didn't know where the other guys were, so I didn't shoot him at 50. There was a gap, like 55-ish probably, 50, 55-ish. But he was feeding to us. I was just waiting, and he was at like 45 and needed to step out from behind a tree. And the kid that was with us shot him at 65 and drilled him, which is awesome. Good for him. Good for him. The highest of highs and the lowest of lows. Oh, I'm so happy for the kid. Truly. I mean, truly happy. Aren't you? I really am. Like, I think it's amazing. Like, it's amazing. I mean, would I have rather killed him? Yeah, of course. It's my second time in New Mexico. No bull. It's our 5th hunt. No bull. But that's hunting. I'm throwing rocks to occupy my mind. Okay. That's enough.
What is that?
Yes, sir.
I can't even lift him up.
That is a beast.
All right, well, Matt and I were dropped off on a water tank called Wes's Tank. I have a bear tag. I said, I'll shoot a bear. And so they were like, yeah, well, I'll take you somewhere where some bears are. And we get here, and there's bear pawing and scarring where, like, literally he punched his claw through the plastic. And so we're going to be sitting in here, but it does lock from the inside. So
Show where you pried on the door.
oh yeah, yeah. So the bottom, we came up and the bottom was, you know, check this out. And what's crazy is the mud is still wet. So that was today. At some point today, there was a bear trying to climb in the blind that we're sitting in. We are having a blast. we were sitting in the blind, and a beautiful bear came in. And unfortunately, these blinds, you can't, if you're right-handed, you can't shoot out the right side because you have to get in here, and there's chairs and there's wall and stuff. You would have to literally hang your bow out the window and kind of press it forward. If you're left-handed, it would be perfect. So he just came out on the wrong side, and the windows need WD-40 because that's what happened when we tried to open the window, and that wasn't very good. So he kind of spooked and started leaving when we did that. And so yeah, if it could have broken this trip, Matt and I hold the pieces in our hands. There's nothing there. Nothing.
I guess it was probably 12 or 13 years ago now that I met TJ. Went on a mission trip with him to Jamaica. He was a cocky little arrogant worship leader. And he was just getting into hunting, serious. And, you know, I'm not that much older than TJ, but it's just watching him mature spiritually, watching him mature as a husband, a father, and a mentor to a lot of people at church. It's just been such a blessing. And you know, you can see the joy in his eyes. You can hear it in his voice. I mean, it would be more of a joy for me to see the expression on TJ's face than any bull I killed up here, because I know how bad he wants it.
I see an elk about 300 yards that way. So there's a herd bull in the middle of the meadow. We just ran, we sprinted up this cliff, kind of, this mountain, to catch him. And now he's herded up with a bunch of cows, so we're just trying to cut him off and see if we can make something happen. It's intense though, it's awesome. So I shot a bull in New Mexico at 25 yards low, and then I put another one in him at 70. Neither one of them are great shots, so that's all I got. But he's standing right over there at about 150 yards. He hasn't moved a muscle since he stopped after that second shot. So maybe, just prayerfully, please Jesus, he'll expire. We should just stay here.
TJ got a bull in. It's a little bit lower than we wanted, but we walked up here. The bull stood here for about 15 minutes. We checked the blood. It has the bubbles in it. Can check that out? Has a lot of bubbles in it, and that means it's lung. So we're probably just gonna back out, let him die right here, and come back in here in a little bit and have him pull down. So,
You think he's gonna be down?
I think so. Like that's good.
Yeah, so we came back to camp and made a not just marginal shot on a bull. So we came back to camp. We've just kind of been hanging out, letting him lay. We jumped him, Dowling, Caleb, myself, and Matt. We were going in, and he was bedded 50, 75 yards from where he stood for a long time, and we videoed him earlier. And honestly, I'm bummed.
So the only thing we can do is just give him more time, quit pushing him. Then get sick and die. Like TJ feels.
Like just being here, breathing on this mountain, like I couldn't put myself here anyway, so it's just a blessing to be here in the first place. But then, like I told Matt, I said, being able to talk about Jesus and like maybe, I don't know, like a bull can happen at any time, but these few conversations about Jesus could be life-changing for somebody. So I don't know, it's just God always reminds me that when we feel empty, he's faithful to fill our tank up. So that's kind of where I am today, I guess, like riding these super highs and super lows. And yeah, that's genuinely just how I feel. Yeah. I'm surprised I made a bad shot. It's a big kill zone on an elk. And I'm surprised, especially that I hit low, because usually when I make a bad shot or a punch, I shoot high. So the fact that I was low just weirds me out. But yeah, that's probably the biggest surprise for me is that. So I woke up this morning. Today was day 6. Woke up this morning, had breakfast, just kind of hung around camp, and Matt and I are walking around. We're hiking, hanging out in beautiful New Mexico. I mean, it is absolutely beautiful here, just kind of taking in the scenery. So we hike up to a ridge where we can see well, and there's 2 different sets of buzzards flying. And so we get in the truck, we drive up to the base of this meadow, 150 yards from where we stopped looking for my bull 2 days prior. And Matt, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Matt sees 10 or 15 buzzards jump out of this tree. And so I'm going down this, and I'm still telling myself, I'm like, oh, don't get too optimistic, don't get excited. Like it's just dead stuff. It's probably just parts of Sam's bull or whatever that coyotes maybe drug out. I was thinking all these crazy things. And all of a sudden I hear Caleb, my guide, up the hill, his hands in the air, he's just fist bumping and he's yelling, and my bull was 150 yards away from where we stopped looking for him the last time. Dude. Oh, man. Oh. 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 Man. Dude.
Awesome job.
Holy smokes, man. Caleb. And it was just this feeling of relief and elation, and just this idea that, oh my gosh, this trip, the story is going to end not only just good, but as I dreamed it to end, being able to take these antlers home and to honor that bull for the rest of my life. And maybe my kids won't put it in storage or something when I'm gone. Maybe they'll do something cool with it. But yeah, it ended very well. Dude. Oh man, thank you. Thank you, dude.
Sorry for you, dude.
Oh man.
What just happened?
Man, so we lost my bull 3 days ago, and obviously the meat's spoiled, which is incredibly unfortunate, but I get to take his rack back and honor him, and I love it. I love it. Is it like, how is it? Like, just your back.
Like that, yeah.
Yeah, that ain't yeah, I'm just packing this guy out, taking him to the truck, and get back to the cabin. I'm gonna breathe a little easier going home. Super grateful to the Lord. Man, the people I've got to meet on this trip, the experiences, getting to share the gospel and tell people how good Jesus is. This rack is amazing to be able to take home. But even having it in my hands, I still feel the same way. Jesus is better.